So it's round 2 for the teams in Group C, and we're looking ahead to the Denmark-Australia game next. That's right, folks, back once again with a match preview, this time looking ahead to the second round of matches in Group C, starting right here with Denmark up against Australia, and we'll talk about that in just 1 second. But if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things World Cup related. But yes, hopefully we're going to get some fan input about this match a little bit later. So let's take a look at the match in a little bit more detail. It does take place at the Cosmos Arena out in Samara on the 21st of June. And Denmark, currently managed by Agi Haralde, secured their qualification on the 14th of November 2017 by winning a European playoff. They've been in the World Cup 5 times before this. The last time was back in 2010, and their best ever performance was back in 1998, where they reached the World Cup quarter-finals. Now, how about odds? You can currently get odds on Denmark winning the World Cup, 80-1. So it's decent. Obviously, they picked up an opening day win, so that's going to help them. As for their opposition in this match, Australia, currently managed by Bert van Marwijk, secured their qualification via the CONCACAF versus AFC playoff winners. They did that on the 15th of November 2017, and like Denmark, this is their 6th World Cup, their last being in Brazil 2014, and the best ever performance was a round of 16 berth back in 2006. You can currently get odds on Australia. They've drifted, I'm afraid, 500-1 now. So the two sides have met on a few occasions over the past few years. The first was back in 6th of February 2007 when Denmark beat Australia in a friendly 3-1. After that, though, Australia got the revenge, and it was on the 1st of June 2010. It was a 1-0 victory for the Socceroos, and the last time that these two sides did meet was back in the 2nd of June 2012, and it was a friendly, once again, 2-0 winners for Denmark, and I believe Denmark were at home on this one. So currently the Group C table looks like this. Denmark are in 2nd spot on goal difference behind France, and Australia are in 3rd place, again because of the goals scored. It gives them a little bit of a cushion over their rivals Peru, who Australia will meet in their last match. So let's take a look at the remaining fixtures for these two nations. Obviously, Denmark opened up their account with a 1-0 win against Peru, and then after this match, they will take on France in the Battle of Europe, 26th of June at the Luzhniki Stadium out in Moscow. As for Australia, they opened up with a 2-1 defeat to La France, and they'll wrap it up with the match up against Peru, 26th of June, the Fish Olympic Stadium out in Sochi. Now, that's my initial thoughts on this one. Obviously, Denmark opened up with a decent, not exhilarating display, but a business as usual display. Just straight up get the result done, and off they go. So they didn't rip out the roots of the trees. They just came, they got what they wanted, and took care of business. So it was a business-like performance by Denmark. As for Australia, they held firm. They had some really harsh calls against themselves, but that was a monstrous occasion for them. Obviously, taking on France, one of the hot dogs for the actual trophy itself. But will Australia be able to bring that same mentality to the Danes? If you're a Socceroo, you'll be looking at these matches. You go, oh man, I've got to go see the French game, and the Australian players will be like, oh man, I've got to really play against these French. Really take it to them. But then when you think, they've got to play Denmark, it's kind of like you've reached the peak, and now these are just run-of-the-mill things. They don't have the same pizzazz as them. So will they bring the same mentality as they did against the French, or will they just get steamrolled over by the Danes? So it's going to be interesting, because on paper I would say Denmark are going to win this quite comfortably. But hey, I'm not going to make my prediction just yet, not until I've heard what the fans have to say. So you've heard a little bit what I had to say about the match. Now, what you really want to hear is what the fans are saying. And once again, I'm joined by the lovely Miss Denmark. Here she is once again. And now, before we jump straight into the World Cup, I'm going to ask you a bit of a curveball question now. So if I was to go to Denmark for one day only, where should I go?
Well, you have to come to my hometown, Copenhagen. Yay! And we have a lot of sites that are very interesting. You obviously know the Little Mermaid.
Yes.
Yes, you've probably heard of her. And my office is actually next to the Queen's Palace, so that would obviously be something I would show you. So
Wow,
yeah.
wow. Awesome indeed. So put that on your bucket list, everybody. Okay, now let's focus back onto the World Cup. Denmark, fresh off the back of that victory up against Peru. I think as a neutral, I like the look of Peru, but Denmark had the sting, and they had the sting in the shape of Christian Eriksen delivering that beautiful ball. But anyway, so how are you and how are Denmark dealing or coping with that result?
Well, we are very pleased with the 3 points. Obviously, the opening game in the group is very important and it's crucial. And we had maybe 900, 1,000 fans, and we heard that there were like 20,000 Peruvian fans. So yeah, we were very lucky with our 3 points, I would say. Yeah.
So obviously, Denmark won and they got the 3 points and they look pretty professional and organised. But is there anything that you would change going into the next match against the Socceroos of Australia?
Well, we lost one of our big players, unfortunately. Quist went out, and he's out of the World Cup now.
Oh,
So
that stinks.
yeah, but luckily I think they will replace him with Lasse Schöne, and he's in Ajax, so he is a good replacement from Quist. So yeah,
So,
he will take on Australia good.
so we'll look forward to seeing him hopefully in the performance against Australia. Okay, obviously positive win, 3 points. Is there anything you didn't like against Peru from the Danish point of view?
Uh, I think our defense was struggling a bit. I think that we need to secure our defense a lot more, and we could obviously in our attacking have a few more attempts on the goal, I would say. So a bit around, yeah. Ericsson was solid, but even upped him as well.
Yep.
Sisto might do better as well, I think.
Well,
Otherwise, he will replace them.
yeah, well, but a win against Australia, and I think you're going to be through to the next round. Well, we'll still have to decide if it's first or second, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, what do you think? What's the final score? Do you think going to happen between Denmark and Australia? Your prediction now.
Well, I'm again a fan of a lot of goals, so this time around I'll be more cautious and I say 2-0 for Denmark.
2-0 for Denmark. Now, obviously, there's two other teams going at it in that group same day. I think France against Peru. What do you think is going to happen there?
Yeah, very exciting game. Very exciting. I'm actually a bit cheering for Peru now because I think they were doing quite well and I want them to succeed. So maybe a draw against France could be possible.
Draw against France, that would do it. That would do it for Denmark. They would go through with that, I think, if my maths is correct. And then it would just need a draw in the final game against France, and you top the pops.
Exactly.
But a long way to go yet. Still, lots can happen,
yeah.
and it's exciting. This group, nicely poised. Any last minute motivational speech for this game for the Danish boys?
Well, again, I just want to wish them very good luck, and I hope that you can give the Danish fans that are traveling down to Russia a bit of support. I know that the Danish fans that were there maybe wanted a bit more, so please also support the supporters coming to Russia.
Indeed, yes. So there you have it, Danish folks. Danish players, if you're listening and watching, you've got to do it for the boys. They're the fans. They're travelling, coming a long way to see you. So get it over the line and get it done. Anyway, hopefully we'll get some reaction from you, just like before, after the game. Obviously, it should be a win, because Denmark should bag this baby up. But anyway, until then, we'll let you get out of here.
Yeah. Have a nice day, everyone, and see you again soon, okay? Take care.
So we've heard what Denmark have had to say. Now what about Australia? I'm joined right now, live on Skype with Mr. Australia. So welcome back once again, and chuck a curveball straight at you now. If I was to go to Australia for just one day, where should I
go? I'd go to Tasmania. I'd go to MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art down there, which was made by these autistic gamblers who go around the world making money, and they earned all this money and then built a massive museum of modern art, and it's incredible, yeah.
Okay, so put that on your bucket list, people. Okay, so Australia coming off the back of a bit of a disappointing loss to France, but I think they were probably the at least the equal side, if not the better side.
Yeah. But look, I don't think we were the equal side, but I think we deserved a draw out of that. I think that first penalty was hardly clear and obvious, which is what the VAR is meant to be, the decisions on VAR, and so they're still coming to terms with that, I suppose. I thought the second goal was a little bit lucky, and the last goal was lucky again. But I thought we were gutsy and we fought out well, but yeah, we didn't take away the points.
Yeah. How? What would you change about your next? What would you change about the past performance moving into the game against Denmark? What would you do differently?
It's going to be really interesting because the build-up for the France match was totally like Australian defence and really kind of like working as a unit and stuff like that. And so he's not going to want to lose that. But the problem is we're going to need to win this next match. You know, at least get a draw, but really we're going to have to win it. And so he is at least going to have to come out. Well, Australia's going to have to come out and try to win it. You know what I mean? And so we're going to have to change some of our attacking options. And I'm not exactly sure. I think he's going to start pretty much the same way. Maybe he'll swap someone in the midfield. Maybe he'll bring in Luongo instead of Rogic, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. And I think it'll depend how the game develops. But he's going to have to bring on some more attacking players at some point, I imagine. Probably the youngest player at the World Cup, Azani. He's something special. So hopefully he has some time against Denmark.
Right. So obviously coming out of a defeat, it's nothing. There's always, it's quite hard to find the positives. But what did you like about the performance against France from the Socceroos?
Well, I thought we looked super solid. Like we were, like our structure was fantastic. We kept it pretty much the whole game. I thought we were really on the receiving end of some very, very soft, like fouls and you know, I think we did really, really well against, you know, like a team worth billions of dollars compared to, you know, like Australia. But I thought we played it as a team much better than France. I thought we played as a unit really well and people were backing each other up and it was just like whereas you saw with the France thing, like just before they got that last goal, they were starting to really panic and they were starting to kind of like, you know, like take it out on each other and stuff like that, you know, like I guarantee you if France ever go down in a situation, they're going down because they're just going to fall to bits, I think.
I guess, yeah, I think the camaraderie, I think, for Australia was there, but
yes.
For the France, yeah, I think you're right.
Well, it's a team full of millionaires, you know. And,
yeah.
A lot of egos, yeah.
And I think I see that a lot with Australia in sports. I think, you know, that's something, I don't know if it's something that's instilled in the mentality as a person growing up in Australia. Because I think the fighting spirit by Australians in most sports is unique, and that's something I think where everybody, you know, because like if for an English point of view, sometimes that's lacking as well. We don't seem to have that die-hard, gritty attitude. And but anyway, I've gone off topic here. But okay, so big game, Australia against Denmark. What's the final score going to be?
Well, a smart man would go for Denmark, but I'm going to say I'm not a very smart man, and I'm going to say 2-1 to Australia.
2-1 to Australia. It's not out of the question whatsoever. Also, in your group, France will take on Peru. What do you think is going to happen in that game?
Well, as an Australian, I'd hope for France to win, but I know I kind of like Peru as well. I'm not sure what's going to happen in that game. I think Peru look really good against Denmark, and so I think they're going to give France a real scare. But yeah, you'd have to again go, you know, if you're going to put your money down, you'd probably go for France. But and as an Australian, I hope they win. But it would be very interesting if Australia win and then Peru win, and then everyone in that table is on equal points. Yeah,
it would. But okay, we're going to put all your cards on the table. Final score: Peru, France. Give me a figure. Give me a figure.
Okay. 3-0 to Peru.
3-0 to Peru. Gosh, that sounds
cool.
I
think France. I think they'll get a goal, and then France are just going to fall a bit.
Yeah. It could all happen. Any last minute words for the boys as they go probably into the crunch game now, like you said, against Denmark? Any last minute words?
Look, you're doing really well, and just have a bit more, a little bit more positivity, a little bit more turn and go. It was a lot of passing back, which I'm sure, you know, there's reasons for that, but there was a few times where Rogic kind of got it and he just went back instead of like turning in one spot and just kept on going. And I think that if we can have if we back ourselves a little bit more in that first third.
Okay.
Sorry,
All right.
yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for joining us once again, and fingers crossed, maybe Australia will give Group C a bit of a kick up the backside and make it a real interesting final game towards the end of the group stages. Now, what the fans about to say? What has Cass the Cat got to up her sleeve in this one when she predicts the result between Denmark and Australia? All we got for you folks. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a good old thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. I'll keep you bang up to date with all things World Cup related, and I'm also on Twitter and Facebook in the old comment section below or description below, wherever it is. Big game in Group C, and I think after this round of matches, I think one of the nations are going to be eliminated, whether it be Australia, whether it be Peru. Yeah, one of them I think is going to go home at the end of these round of matches. So that's, you know, obviously because if France and Denmark both win, they'll be on 6 points, and yeah, they'll be plain sailing. They can play a second string in the final game and take it easy. But yeah, so this round of matches is going to go a long way to find out who's going to go through to the knockout stages. So win or bust, I'm afraid, for Australia. They've got to get something out of this result. If they get a point, they keep their dreams alive a little bit. They'll still need to turn on the style against Peru and score a few goals if they're going to get through. As for Denmark, a win, they're there. Yeah, I don't see anything else. So stage is set for Christian Eriksen to let the world know that he exists, and he should be in that bracket of the top 5 players in the world. But anyway, we'll find out how all that pans out right here on this channel. Hopefully I'll get an instant match review for you, and then we'll look ahead to do maybe some detailed review. But anyway, until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you are interested in that Cass the Cat app, you want to hit that button right there. It'll send you over to my WordPress site where you can find a downloadable link. Also, if you've yet to subscribe to the channel, hit that magical button right there. This is your one-stop shop for the 2018 World Cup. I've also got old previews and reviews that you can check out down there. And also let me hear your thoughts and opinions. Whack them in the comment section below, and I will see you all very, very soon.